Welcome to MIC757. I am your host, Mike Will, Mike Laurie, whichever one you know me as the best. Welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. This episode is called The Streets Died Off a Long Time Ago. And we're going to get right into that and why the episode is called that. Before I get into that, let me give a shout out to Greg and Spencer. These two guys tune in a lot every time I drop an episode, and they stayed on top of me and asking me, Mike, when you gonna drop the next episode? So just explain a little bit in detail. We had a death in the family, and that's going to be covered in this particular podcast as well. So I'm giving tribute to my cousin Rel. Some of you know him as Hell Rel, and we're going to talk about him in this podcast. As you know, if you tune in before, I like to cover sports. I like to cover hip hop and a few other topics. But today is strictly about it's strictly about what the title was about. The Streets Died Off a Long Time Ago. So I'm going to elaborate on two individuals. One is named Antoine A.B. Burnham and Terell Williams, a.k.a. or better known as Hell Rel. Before I get into that, let's give I picked up a couple more sponsors. That's always a good thing, right? Let me knock out two of my old sponsors, original sponsors, so I can make sure I give them their spot. B3 Cornhole. Are you looking for customized cornhole bags at the next tournament that you show up to? Do you want to show up in style and have everyone asking you, hey man, where you get those customized cornhole bags? Well, you can go ahead and tell them log on to www.b3cornhole.com and they'll take care of you. Any customized cornhole bags you want, any idea, they'll bring it to life. And one of my other sponsors is Brawl Halls. Are you looking for a customized gift of any of your choice? Are you looking for any sports memorabilia of your choice? Well, Ball Halls will bring that idea also to life. If you're looking for slides, if you're looking for hoodies, shirts, anything that that you could think of, Ball Hogs will also bring your ideas to life. All right, so let's jump right into this episode. As I said, two people will be covered in this episode, and that is Rel and AB. When I was in the 757 for the funeral, I was able to coordinate and get a visitation to go see AB. And if anyone knows Antoine, you know that he's been incarcerated for, I think, 25 years now. We was able to sit down and actually do a face-to-face other than talking to each other on JPay. Early in his when he got locked up early, it was still writing letters and stuff like that. And he moved a few facilities over the course of his incarceration, and we didn't never really lose contact. Thanks to his sister, she has been a big source for me to stay in contact with him. But there was a few things that he wanted to bring to light, and for me to talk on this podcast. Let's talk about the visit. And you have to, if anyone do not know or looking to find out this information, especially in the state of Virginia, you yourself have to go through a background check. So when you fill out the application, best believe they're doing a background check on you. But it takes some time. So if you are scheduling or you have time, I would tell you that if you even projecting the time to go see a loved one that's incarcerated, you might want to right after you listen to this podcast, get online and go ahead and just fill out the application, because it is a time is a lengthy period between being accepted or approved. I would say not accepted, but approved to have visitation rights, and certain facilities operate a little different. So, but remember, first and foremost, they are doing a background check on you. So, just be aware of that. But we were during the when I arrived at the facility. Of course, you have to go through certain checks, and that's to be expected. They don't want you bringing anything in, and getting yourself caught up with anything. But I would tell you, it's a process. Not only do they send you through a metal detector, pat you down, pack your clothes and all of that down. They actually put you through this it's like at the airport when they do the little scan that go around your body. So they're checking to see if you have anything inside your body that you shouldn't be bringing in. So yeah, so I understand when you go to see your loved one, it is a process, but to me it was well worth it to go see him and sit down and talk to him face to face after 25 years. Let's talk about the visit. One of the things I was kind of disappointed about, and let me back up and make sure that you understand that, I was very grateful that I was able to go see him. They went through a process during COVID where there were no face-to-face visits for inmates at all. So you either had to set up a video chat, which was crappy. His sister tried to help me with that, and the quality wasn't as good, the audio. But what do you expect though? You can't expect a lot a comfort coming from the penal system. But again, just saying, I was grateful. I just want y'all to understand that first and foremost, that I was very grateful. But I have been on visits before. I have been to see other loved ones, friends, family. And this particular one kind of, I don't want to say upset me, but if anyone has ever visited someone that's locked up, you know that you go in there with a bag full of coins, a bag full of quarters. So you could buy things out the vending machine, drinks, snacks, food that they may not get their hands on regularly while being locked up. So that was one of the things I was looking forward to. And, because we sat there and like I say, I'm grateful. And because the visit seemed to be a lot longer, they let it go a lot longer than what was scheduled. But again, we was in there for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, no water, nothing to, snack on, and things like that, which, makes the visit a lot more comfortable, a lot more, relaxing. I understand, again, we're talking about correctional facilities and stuff like that, that, they try not to make it as comfortable, and I truly understand that part. One of the things that he was kind of upset about, other than the vending machines and being able to get food out of it, was that there was no cameraman. So we couldn't even take a picture, after all these years to like post, man. That was one thing that I was also looking forward to as well. But we didn't get a chance to do that, but I told him as we talked, and he was giving me, talking points, for episodes to come, and and particularly this episode, about some of the injustice that he has, had to go through since, being inside. He wanted me to also, he wanted me to point out that, he has had a cyst that I could clearly see bulging off his forehead. I'm not going to ask. So I kind of thought maybe he got into a tussle or something. He was like, nah, man, don't nobody in here bother me. I don't bother nobody. But he said he had a cyst on his eye for the last 2 years, and they won't send him out for medical to get that cut out or drained or what have be. And then he was explaining to me that, and he showed me, he had this bulge on the bottom part of his stomach, and that was a hernia. And he said, man, I put in for medical and everything, man, and they just denied me. They won't allow me to go out there and get that medical care, which I totally understood. And that's going to bleed over to the second part of this podcast and some of the things I'm going to talk about when it comes to rail. But overall, man, we caught up on a lot. I mean, when I say we caught up on a lot, we talked in depth about family, plans. We definitely, he broke down his case to me. I never wanted to ask over JPay. And if anybody that's listening does not know what JPay is just a form of talking to your loved one through like email and things like that. So no longer the days where you have to send money orders in or anything like that. I haven't done it in a long time. I usually just go on JPay and refresh his funds. He never asks for anything. So I just do it out of the kindness of my heart. And I felt like if the roles were reversed, he's that friend that would do it for me. So first cheers to AB. So some of the other things about his case, his trial. I'm not going to elaborate on the other three gentlemen. I'm not going to say their names. They know who they are. 2 out of the 4 are home. But one of the parts that really hits a little hard is that you see it all the time when these guys talk about their day ones, sandbox dudes they grew up with, but the guy that basically sealed his fate into being incarcerated testified against him. Ultimately, AB did not take a plea. He went to fight his case, and he ended up with the most time because he fought the case, and they didn't have no evidence on him, only the testimony of an old friend, a so-called friend. And that's my words, not his words. Just so you understand, that was my words. His first trial ended in a hung jury, and then the second one got him 65 years. One guy got 20 years. He came home a couple years ago. The guy that testified against him, on him, he came home like a year or two ago. And the third guy, he is still locked up or incarcerated at this time. I'm unaware of how much time he received. It is clearly stated in his paperwork and stated at the trial by the judge that Antoine Burnham did not commit the murder, did not shoot anyone, but still received the most time because he did not plea, or take a plea bargain. So there's a lot of injustice in there, in my eyes. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's going to look at it a little different, and I might be biased because he is a friend. A guy I would definitely say is a brother of mine. So yeah, I'm going to be a little biased. But anybody that knows him, anybody that's going to comment on this, they're going to tell you that, AB's been, has always been a great dude. Just got caught up. one day changed his life drastically. And but I would tell you that the guy the guy's still a character. You know what I'm saying? He's upbeat. He's smiling the whole time. He just wants to know, hey man, what's going on with you? You know what's going on with me? What's going on with you? So I'm like, man, how do I sit here and talk about me? Like, dude, I'm trying to talk about you. You know, and anything I can do for him. Now, one good thing is that the Virginia laws changed a couple years ago about like when those got sentenced, and if they got sentenced as a juvenile or committed a crime as a juvenile, they were able to be granted parole or be able to be on parole status due to what is called a fishback rule or fishback law. So he does fall under that. And one of the good things going forward is that he will be transferring to a different facility. This facility is going to house those that are short, those who are definitely on parole, eligible for parole, and former military personnel. This is all the information that he gave me. So, and he wanted me to pass that on to you guys that have may have loved ones in other facilities that are on the same status as him, being either short or eligible for parole. And this is the facility that's supposedly get you home earlier and get some of that get some of your life back. And this is what I gotta respect when it comes to AB. He's more or less asking, what's going on with me in life and my kids and family and stuff like that. And I'm throwing the question back at him like, man, what can I further do for you? He said, man, you do enough. You do a lot, man. You without asking, you put money on my books. You just write me letters through JPay. You a man of your word. You said you'll come visit me first chance you get, and here you are. He said, not to mention that, since they granted me parole eligibility, you have did exactly what you said, and that was write a letter to the parole board every year. I've been up for parole 3 times now. I got denied 3 times, which we both know. But I'm grateful to have a friend like you that's willing to, stop what they're doing and write a letter. He says, so man, you just being here is enough. And, man, it's like, man, I wish you was walking up out of here with me right now. Jokes on them. I came to get you. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, I was very grateful to sit down and talk to him and catch up. One of the things I wanted to also talk about is that when I say this guy doesn't even just think about himself the whole time or talk about himself the whole time, he was telling me about this situation that he called his old head got a situation in there where this guy, he's like 68, 70 years old, but whatever in detail what his crime is, we didn't get into that, but he says this guy can't go up for parole but every 7 years. And I'm like, wow, every 7 years? Man, what do you got to look forward to every 7 years when you about to hit 70 or even in his 60s? Like, wow, man, you got to spend three-quarters of a decade behind bars just to go up for parole to be denied. So yeah, he wanted me to talk about that, and I'm gonna dig a little deep once I get that information about what the guy did, because he really wants me to bring a little bit to light about where he feels the injustice of even just going through the parole procedures and things like that. You know what I mean? But again, the man is in great spirits. I mean, he laughed through the whole visit. You know what I mean? We were laughing, man, like we were little kids again. You know what I mean? Just talking and talking about what girl we trying to get after. Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely a great visit. Just to backtrack too, and this is talking about the character of Antoine. he was telling me that he spent a bunch of years being mad at his friend that testified against him. But he said over the years, it slowly, it went away till now he doesn't even fault him. He says, man, when we got locked up, when they came to got us, interrogating us and all this and that, he said, man, no telling what those people told him about his freedom and what he needed to do to, gain his freedom, so never know what was said. So he says he forgave him, and I had to sit back on that one, and let that kind of soak in a little bit, and that just tell you the type of guy he is, the character that that he really possessed, and I wish and hope that the parole board sees that in the upcoming board, for 2024. As always, I would say, free my brother AB. I can't wait to that day. So we're gonna transition and move on to a different part. Well, not a different, but the second part of the podcast. Before I do, let me give. Let's run down a couple more sponsors. CNC Luxury Car Wash, located on Pondexter and Liberty Street in Chesapeake, Virginia. If you're looking to get your car clean, reasonable prices, and have a great, man, I got a little tongue tied. If you're looking for reasonable prices and have a great experience, a well-detailed car, where you don't have to check behind the owner or whoever's washing your car, you want to visit CNC Luxury Car Wash, again located on Pondexter and Liberty Street in Chesapeake, Virginia. All right, one more before we get into that, move on to the next part of this podcast. One more, I have two more sponsors, but I'm gonna talk about the Dogfather. The Dogfather is located off Baker Road and Newtown Road in Virginia Beach. If you're looking for a quick bite to eat, you might want to visit the Dogfather. And he just don't have just hot dogs or hot sausages. He got fish sandwiches, chicken sandwiches. He got cheese steaks. Hey, look, just go visit him. I'm telling you, that food is really good. And not to mention, man, he got his own seasoning, and you could put it on everything. Make sure you get a look at that real good. So he got these on the shelves in the store right now. So hey, big ups to the Dogfather. Hey man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, I like it, I respect it, and I'm gonna come get me something to eat ASAP. All right, so we're gonna move into talking about rail. So the podcast was kind of on pause because my cousin Terell passed away, and so this episode is definitely dedicated to him. Young 36. I said it again. Young 36-year-old passed away, but I'm gonna share a little bit. I might get a little backflash on this one, you know what I mean? But I'll take it to talk about my cousin. I would definitely take it. There was a lot of things said at his service, about him playing football, about just being an all around great dude. That everybody would say, there's a lot of guys that, he'll give you the shirt off his back. No, this guy literally would give you the shirt off his back if you were in need. Just done things out the kindness of his heart. And Mr. Pee-wee, he said, I ran in the rail at the shop and go one day, and I'm getting the stuff that I want, a couple sodas, drinks or whatever, chips. And he just come up and said, I got it, Mr. Pee-wee. He's like, nah, rail, I can pay for it. He said, nah, Mr. Pee-wee, I'm gonna buy it. just because who you are in the community. And so he did so. But that's just one thing that Rail did. Rail lived the life he lived, you know. And I always told him, we got this saying, you know what I'm saying, we live life with no regrets, and we built Williams tough, you know. And every time I ran into Rail coming in and out of town, you know, I always asked him, looked him in his face, and he always gave that laugh. First he gave you this smile, and anybody that knows, they know that smile that he's talking about is like that's not the word I want to look for. It's just a smile that you know is him, you know. And I always asked him, "What's your exit plan, cuz? What's your exit plan?" You know what I mean? Again, the reason why I named this podcast, this episode, The Streets Died Off a Long Time Ago, because that's what I would tell him and make sure he understood from my point of view that the streets died off a long time ago. What's your exit plan? And he said, man, I got one. And that's all he would tell me. I got one. You know me, cuz I got one. So, all right, you got one. I'm gonna take you. You're a man of your word. So, and again, this guy was doing a lot of things for a lot of people. He had this saying, "Am I a sucker for being a good guy?" And a mutual friend of ours, a brother to probably both of us, me, because me and him grew up together, and that was Hot Boy, and he know who he is, Reese. He probably told him a couple times, yeah, you are a sucker for being a nice guy, because the streets is never going to be nice back to you, and those who run the streets are probably not going to be nice back to you. So yeah, that was in a jokingly big brother, little brother type of way, and he understood, when I say that my cousin died at 36, I believe that the stress of when he was going through his trial for 3 years caught up with him. I think stress is definitely a killer. I don't have to tell you that. I think a lot of you viewers out there already know that it is. So I believe that stress took a toll on his body. And when he was sentenced, they knew about his previous medical conditions, and they stated that they would put him in a facility that would, meet or take care of his medical needs. He didn't put up no fuss. He took the time that the judge gave him, and one of the letters, well, it's like JPay, but another form. But he was like, hey, cuz, ain't no thing. I'm gonna put my big boy shorts on, and I'm gonna ride it out. And I say, that's what it is. He said, and then he ended, we built Williams tough. We live life with no regrets. So I just chuckled about it. I had to, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I told him, hey, cuz, whatever you need while you in there, I got it. You know what I mean? You don't even have to ask. All you got to do, you don't have to write me letters on the thing and spend a lot of time. All you got to do is say, cuz, funds low, and I'll replenish those. So, there was some other things that I wanted to say, and I got an asterisk by, some of those things that I wanted to say. But for those who turned their back on him, testified on him, you know who you are, and you got to live with that. You know what I mean? You got to live with that. And I'm telling you that, that stress ultimately, to me, is what killed him. But like I said, he didn't die. He didn't pass with any bitterness. He actually said he forgave everybody that turned their back on him. Those that didn't write him while he was locked up for 3 years, and then when he went off to where he went. So he said he forgave everybody, man. And I was like, wow, man. Again, It's the character of the guy. You know what I mean? A very solid guy, not just because he was family to me, but family to a lot of people that wasn't blood. Yeah. But let me again, this is also for those that have loved ones incarcerated. It costs you nothing to get on your phone, because these apps now on the phone, if it's secured, if it's JPay, all of these apps are on your phone. You know, hey, drop a letter to your loved ones if you haven't, talked to them. See what they medical well-being is, as far as their physical and mental well-being. Just ask. It might go a long way. You know what I mean? That's something I charge to you guys to do, for your loved ones. Just check up on them. That's all I ask you to do. Sorry, trying to set up something real quick. But okay, just to go back and understand that we understand this, so I can wrap this part up. But they said they were going to send him to a facility that would take care of his medical needs. Well, they didn't do that, and he wasn't receiving any type of the medical anywhere near the level of care that he needed. And I understand this is incarceration, so you don't look to that you're going to have the best. But when his condition worsened, this is something that they do, and I have no qualms about telling you what's the truth and what they did. And once they sent him out for medical, and the doctors told the people that incarcerated him that he didn't have long to live, that his heart was beating at a 15%, was beating at 15%. They knew he didn't have long before he passed away. So they fully released him from their, what's the word I want to look for? Their control. They fully released him and basically told him, in other words, you can go home and pass in the care of your families. Go pass. I want to say other words, but I might have family that's watching, so I don't want to be too harsh in my words. You can read between the lines of what I really want to say. But I will, think about the feelings of my family and say that they just released him to go pass away in the care of the family, his family. Are we grateful for that? Yes, we are. We'll take that. We'd rather have him pass, which he did pass a lot around loved ones, than in a prison cell or on the way from corrections, or lockup, and pass away. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. But yes, for those that do have loved ones, really look out for them, because that penal system is not going to do it to the level that they may need it, and that's physical and mental. So I charge you to look after your own people. Like I say, look up JPay Secure. I believe it's one. There's probably many other ones. If not, just go see your loved one. Like I say, I was very grateful to go see my friend. Hopefully it won't be too many more visits on the inside. It'll be more of us hanging out on the outside. Again, this episode is dedicated to Terell Hellrail Williams. May he rest in paradise. I will share this with you as I wrap this episode up, and that was the morning after he passed, I had to go to the gym, and I had a lot on my mind, him, and the situation, and all of those involved with the case, former friends, and I'm gonna stress that, former friends, so I was dealing with a lot, but it was just more about him. And I'll share with you what I had posted on social media, and that was, I don't mourn. I'm not sad, and I'm not mourning you. I'm a little bit jealous of you, because all I can see is Pop, Grandma, a few of our uncles, cousins, all that passed away, standing there waiting to welcome you in arms and invite you into the house that they built for us once we pass. So that's something I put on social media in tribute to Terell, and I'm gonna leave you with that. Always thanks for tuning in. Please come back. Always critique. Leave me some comments, and for all those that got by on 4 chicken wings of rice, a 40 ounce, and a nickel back to get nice, this is MIC757 saying good night. Again, MIC757 saying good night.
It's hard to say what was driving me. On top of that, my life was trying me. The text eyeing me, fantasizing, a choking, a smoking, a black art unbroken. Holding back from exploding the stress. Another part of total conquest. And my nigga laying court, two inside his chest. So God bless. All the rest who met a death time me were photographed and made it easier for y'all to find me. You in the gutter, intellects, using night for cover. Sit and go over the wrongs and the rights, the evidence, the circumstance. But still this black-hearted lifestyle of romance granted a chance. I changed it all before I hit the ground froze. For the 12th final round closed. And in my eyes, it ain't hard to see. Street life started sticking me, for real.
Street life, yeah, it's the only life I know. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away.
And it's some truck like 16 chrome. Spinning on a deacon, don't even need to shine when I'm speaking. The all-seeing, make them see, start to weaken and fold. Step back 500 feet to find yourself swole. Nigga, get to doing what you're told. We here to pimp a stroll, leave you lesser players leaving cold. My MO, a devastational rhyme and flow to blow you out the window, leave the crowd screaming ho. And so on and so on. I rub patrol on these out of line characters, frontin' with jelly coated spine. Ill-defined, make a rhyme, work around the clock, and bump from the city to the cell block. It's playtime, turn to game time, money tight face. First one to enter, last one to lead a place. With mic in my hands, both arms is braced. Cock back, catch another court case.
Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away.
I be the livest and wisest between the two sights, shot sideways. See how the Russian death drivers made men enterprises. Longer run the unofficials, gas from quiet boy to criminal. I researched all for visuals. Some were struck, money made streets of luck. Others was better than the dick of life and getting fucked. Now what's the truck if it ain't flooded? The master eye if I'm not blunted. You know me off 50, make 100. I'm running blunted, nothing changing. Seeing how I want it all the same, man. Solidwood, simple to obtain, but hard to hold. Come dramatical until I turn gray and old. Let my bank turn to swole. The world know we in control, and put it down like it was never told. And in my eyes, it ain't hard to see. Street life started sticking me, for real.
Street life,
yeah.